All right, we're live. Here we go. Chapter 683. My gosh, that's a lot of chapters. We're definitely going past 700. I don't think we're going to reach 800, but we're definitely going into the sevens. All right. Well, anyway, page one. I actually thought this was when I sit there and looked at it. I didn't realize what was going on. I'm like, wait a minute. He's got his hands in there and he's trying to pry open this dimensional gate or whatever here. I thought that was pretty. And Sasuke saw it, so I thought that was kind of humorous. That's something
Yeah,
Naruto would try to do.
it's just it's showing Naruto's speed, just like the next page is doing. But like, because in the last chapter, Sasuke was like pulled, and Naruto was nowhere near him where he was pulled through that hole. And now, when this chapter starts, Naruto was like right on top of that hole. So showing Naruto's speed basically.
Right, and then
Yeah.
and the whole idea of him setting the trap, and. Okay, now we're on. I'm glad you brought that up though, because that's going to be a big point. And now we've moved on, and we've got Black Zetsu. With that, you won't be able to seal Mother away anymore. That whole talk with that, I find just funny. I don't know why. It's kind of, and then that crazy look, Black Zetsu has in him.
It's like he's from Full Metal Alchemist.
Something. And he just hangs around. Like I say, he is kind of snake-like, isn't he? Just running around Kaguya's body and popping his head out over here. I can't wait to... Oh, gosh, it's going to be interesting. Now that it's taken care of it, let's start by draining all your chakra. Okay.
So annoying how he does all the talking. I wish Kaguya spoke a lot more.
Yeah, a lot of people on the fandom are not happy with that. I'm not like I say, Urza was one of my favorite characters until I tried to dumb her down, and I simply I like characters. If you're gonna have a character in something, make the character interesting. I don't like just like a target dummy or something. There, make them interesting, whether the male, female, or whatever. I just make interesting characters. But anyway, at the bottom, he's like impressive reflexes. I mean, yeah. So Kaguya's just been, a support for, huh?
You ever wonder why is she just now trying to trying to absorb his chakra? I mean, I thought she tried already and spit him out. So what's changed?
Well, they fought her back. It was that whole thing was. It seemed like remember that was Black Zetsu's story time. It's like, oh, while we're draining your chakra, let me tell you some stories. And so it seemed to be like a device for that, and then they broke free and that kind of stuff. So they evidently still have quite a bit of chakra. And why it's taking this long, I don't know.
Yeah, so anyway, look at Naruto dodging her hands through the barriers, and he's completely keeping up with her, actually outpacing her, which is really impressive.
I have to say I love this whole ability because as everybody said, is the whole Zabuzub thing, the one that was hanging out with Zabuzub that did the ice mirrors and all that. I love this ability, so I'm glad to see that it's kind of brought back in a different manner.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going on, and then I'm kind of pushing on about 4 pages in. Say page 7. Where I'm at. And then this one's kind of hectic. It looks like everything is moving at him at once. Moving on.
I like how Kishimoto just makes it look like scribbles and like darker tones to make it look like violent and shaky.
Yeah, it looks very shaky.
Good effect.
And then yeah, it looked pretty good. And then I'm at the part that we're at the bottom. We've got his Cage Bush and Naruto, his clone. He's talking with everybody, talking about how he could sense stuff and everything. Little dimensional business. And Obito.
The man.
It's amazing. I was watching King of Lightning do a review, and he just he had to stop. When it gets to Obito, he's like, oh god. Not everybody's an Obito fan, Michael.
They don't see how awesome a character he is, unfortunately.
Hey, I'm glad you stand your ground with it. You know.
I think I'm starting to get on your side with him, but I don't know how he keeps avoiding death. And like death doesn't have a meaning in this anime anymore.
Well, that's true. I mean, even if you die, you get brought back, and then unless you're, there's not much. But I mean, don't misunderstand me. I don't like Obito. I haven't turned a corner on it. I haven't gotten any better with it. I don't like it, but you know, it's almost like getting into the whole shipping thing. You know, just because I like one part of it doesn't mean I don't like people that are on the other. You know what I mean? It's perfectly fine with it. Just make sure clear. I haven't turned a corner. I'll be glad when Obito's gone, and I wish that it would. Yeah.
But that's just it. He can't go. As long as Kaguya can change dimensions, or as long as they're stuck over there, he's going to be around.
Well,
there's no scenario where he's going to throw Sasuke out of wherever he's going to be at and just stay there like my work here is done.
Well, now you're getting into a big thing that I was trying to tackle at the end of the chapter. When I did review is no, I mean we can talk a little bit about it now. I've skipped over to the page 10, but the thing is what is the scenario? Okay, since they're remember we had a problem. We had they're in Obito's dimension, and so how are people going to get back? Right, there has to be some method to get people back from there, right? And now these guys are in like 2 different dimensions. Sasuke's in some other dimension, right? So, what if you just killed Kaguya and Black Zetsu right now? How do you get back? Let alone go find wherever Sasuke is. How do you do that?
Well, we can't.
All right, we're going to get more into this because we're going to talk about their plan.
The thing is, I always thought that Obito's eye only transported him and Kakashi to his dimension. And then from his dimension, he could exit into anywhere he wanted. That's what I always thought. But now it seems like Obito can actually travel across dimensions as long as he knows where he's going.
Well, I mean, we're getting into it right now. The way he's making it sound, he's like, hey, I think I could synchronize my eyes to jump into places she can jump.
Yeah.
So,
okay. If I were to analyze that, remember how the Sharingan, when it was originally introduced to us, had the ability to copy things?
Right.
Had the ability to see chakra. So I imagine what Obito would do is he would see the exact type of chakra that Kaguya uses, and then match that chakra or like trace its origins to different points in like dimensional breaks in order to find it like where she dropped off Sasuke. I don't know. That's how it would make sense.
No, it now makes perfect sense because Kakashi using Obito's eye was called the copy ninja, right?
Right.
That's an aspect of the eye I didn't think back because now he's got his eyes back. So yeah, he could just flat out copy what he's seeing. That's amazing. That's awesome. That makes sense. Why didn't Kishimoto say this in here? I wish he would have put this in the chapter, right? What James?
That makes perfect sense. Now that you got his copy eye back, he can do what Michael was saying.
Yeah, exactly. But like I said, Kishimoto should have said that in here. But anyway, it got figured out, so I appreciate that. It worked out very well.
I do my best.
All right. Okay, I'm reading some of this dialogue. Okay, I'm going to read this just because I'm just being a jerk right now. All right, I'm going to read Sakura's. I don't know if I'm just a burden or any actual use. Okay, and then she goes down. But I don't want anything bad to happen, especially if I can do anything to help against it. So, wow.
I'm surprised she didn't say, but I don't want anything bad to happen to Sasuke Kun.
Yeah, to Sasuke Kun. The rest of you guys can, okay, everybody that hasn't tried to kill me, you can just fend for yourself.
And that's with her heart. You had to try to kill her first.
Okay, and let me make sure I didn't miss this because I think maybe it's going to be a little further on. The whole thing about Obito is, in that case, take me with him and explain why. Obito's ready to die, right? Okay, but I think there's more later.
Well,
Okay.
there was on the previous page.
Yes.
The Kage Bunshin said that I revived you, which I think is translated differently in another one. I think he said like I helped you recover or something to that effect. But Obito said I should have been dead, and the clone says, I revived you, I helped you recover in Ebola. But then he says, and he looks sad, and Obito is like, yeah, I know. So it seems like Obito is going to die regardless.
Yes. It seems like he's got something terminal. Like his bringing him back was just short term. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
So if that's what you were trying to get into, that's what it says.
Yeah, I mentioned that in the review. That was something I brought up, but that very point. And we could always go back. I'm skipping through kind of fast here. Page 11, and we're back to the Edo Hokages. And I looked. This was another thing. I'm like, the bottom half of Madara, okay, and I'm like, all right, so he just regenerated his whole bottom half, Madara.
Yeah.
Went about his way, and he's just. And I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, I mean, if his arm was chopped off, then when he regenerated, I wouldn't be shocked to find an arm. So I guess a whole lower half when you're at that level. So. You're not buying it?
It's just too convenient.
Yeah.
That's all. I thought he took this bottom half from Zetsu, but he was floating, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Oh, he didn't need this bottom half. He's at that level. He's just like, you know what? I'm gonna go to Obito's dimension with just my upper half, and then float around, and then grab people and muscle them around,
and not drop a single drop of blood, and not spill any blood at all.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't happy about it when I first read it because I thought it sounds like way too convenient. The fact that, let's revive Madara. Hey, look, here's his legs. Let's, I wish we knew what's going on. The six pass comes out of his leg. It's like the entire reason he got his lower half cut off was for that point in the story.
right?
It's too contrived.
Yeah. It was already, like I said, it was already an issue. The top half, just not even like, hey, you know what? I'm so bad that I don't even need the bottom half. What do you think of that? I can do all this stuff. So yeah. I was already past it. I mean, it is convenient though. That is a good word for it.
So here's a question for you.
Yes, sir.
How does Hashi know that's Madara's bottom half? Because I could have sworn last time we seen Madara, he had but he didn't have the white jacket. Did you just recognize him?
I guess so. I guess he fought his bottom half so much that.
You didn't even dance around that. That was just like a softball. He just tossed it up lightly, and Michael came over and just knocked it. Oh boy.
So, like I said, Kishi doesn't explain things. We just have to figure it out ourselves.
Oh boy! Oh my gosh! Yeah, I mean that would be well. Anyway, I want to say this anyhow. Why not? Once again, I'll be a jerk again in this. I'll just say, Hashirama, when he meets up with Madara again, he sees Madara again, and says, "Hey, I want to show you this cool, technique that I learned from Naruto." Oh, okay.
The Hashiharam Jutsu.
Yeah. Oh boy. All right. If you're gonna do something, may as well go all the way with it. All right, there we go. Okay, I'm on page 12. Like I said, we can always go back, as you guys know. We can, kind of speeding forward. And
wait. Here's something on page. Page 12. Yeah. Minato says that he cut people from the tree. How did he do that? He has no arms.
Well, he kunai in his mouth, I'm assuming.
Could be kicked him really fast, or
I don't know. I mean, So he ran to them. He kicked the kunai up in the air. He grabbed it with his mouth and he started going to town on the vines.
I don't know. Maybe he just made toe seals. He was able to just do something. That is a good point. That's not exactly the person you'd send out to cut people down. The guy without any arms.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it does bring up a good point because it seems like okay. We're getting it. Well, part of what we're getting into is are the Kages? What's their primary focus? I say it's trying to free everybody. Okay, and it doesn't seem like talked about going in front of Naruto, but it seems like their primary thing is to save people from the tree. And they already see if we cut them away, the tree just gets vines again and pulls them back. So they don't have a way of doing it. Unless Hashiroma's got some kind of crazy thing. And then we get the whole deal. And I like this going on here. Toby Rama. Oh gosh, the hate this guy's got. Okay, if we want to figure out whether or not Madara is dead or alive, why don't we try using the Ito Tensei on the lower half of his body? Then we'll know right away. Then we can ask him all about this. So it makes sense.
Can Ito do a Ito?
I guess I don't know. Madara broke being the Ito seal, and Toby Rama was already kind of hinting that he could do it himself anyhow. I guess they could. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, see, Madara only broke it because Kabuto released the seal. Otherwise, Madara was still under Kabuto's control the entire time.
Right.
So if they brought back Madara, there'd be no way in hell Madara could break free of their control, unless they dispelled it, whatever. So.
Right. So I'm just going to go with that. I'm not going. It's a very good question, but I don't know if we're going to get an answer. But I guess I'm assuming. Of course, he would. I mean, him trying it would answer the question. But and then of course we get Hashirama. That means we're going to kill somebody, right? We're going to go grab somebody out of a one of these Zetsu things and, sacrifice them, some random person, right? He's like, no, there's another way. I'm not really wanting to, have to kill somebody for this. And then he does, he touches Madara's
inner thigh.
Yeah. And some stuff happens. And then, as always happens when somebody touches somebody else's inner thigh, the Sage of the Sixth Path pops up and gives you a conference call. And he's like, so you were really a kind person, as sure as predecessor.
So, see, now this is confusing because the Sage of Six Paths was inside Naruto and Sasuke because they were the current descendants, or however you would say it, of Ashura and Indra. So Ashura and Indra's chakra are inside of them, and they're like the current incarnations of them. So why does Madara, who shouldn't have Ashura, who shouldn't have Indra inside of him anymore, why is the Sage of Six Paths able to enter him? Is it because he was fused with the Jubi once, and legs have the Jubi chakra? I don't know. I'm confused.
Well,
maybe it's still his chakra. Or maybe it doesn't matter.
Well, let me. There's two different angles. There's why is this coming out of Madara's body angle, which you're talking about now, right? But let me come at it a little different. Okay, what are the conditions that we've seen so far to interact with the Sage of the Sixth Path? It seems to be you have to be in some dead or near dead kind of quasi state, right? Like Sasuke was and Naruto was.
Right.
Yeah.
And these are Itos. And Madara, I feel pretty solid on that. And Madara is, I'm sure, not actually fully dead, right? He's transformed at the moment, to a woman.
I just don't get how Madara, whether he's dead or alive right now, I don't get how he has the same six paths, can pass through his body, whatever. I don't get that.
Well, he said his predecessor, he shouldn't have, if I remember right, the chakra has already passed on him. I think he's just saying you're
Right.
someone that held the chakra. But you're getting to a point, and this is what the reviewers and everybody was on. They're like, what is the connection between Gar's lower half and the Sage of the Sixth Path? Why is he coming out there? Why? You know, unless somebody wants to say he was trying to use a healing jitsu or something, which is ninchu, or I mean, I don't know. I wish Kishimoto would explain something of what just happened, right?
Like,
Yeah.
like I, you know, I saw theories that, like, you know, when Hashirama touched the, you know, Madara's lower leg or whatever, that the combination of their two chakras would make Hashirama come out of him. But I don't get it, because they shouldn't have the chakras of Ashura and Indra anymore. So that's why I don't understand where the connection is.
Well, unless it's just the Uchiha and Senju chakras, if that's the angle we're taking.
But I thought all chakra was connected.
Well,
If you look at it from the point of all chakra being connected, I mean, I think you could sense a large gathering of it.
well, I mean, remember his mother. He was able to look at Naruto and Sasuke, and from the chakra they had, not only tell what chakra they had. Oh, you've got Ashura's chakra and Indra's, and Hagurama gave it to you. So evidently, it is different. It's different enough for someone that can specialize in it to, you know, like a Hyuga clan or whatever, to differentiate, you know, what's going on. So it has different natures. That's my understanding.
No,
Okay.
I don't know. I just think that, like, Kishi seemed like he explained that the reason why Hagurama appeared before Naruto and Sasuke was because they were Ashura and Indra's descendants, whatever it is, incarnations. And, you know, that was the reason why he could appear to them and give them power and all that stuff. So it just seems like an asshole to me now if he's going to say, oh, I can appear out here because you two are Uchiha and Senju, and it just seems like it would be a totally different thing, but I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully Kishimoto explains it next chapter. So,
Yeah. I grasped a bunch of straws and put them together. Here, that's pretty much all I could do with that. I don't know, but like I say, I haven't heard a satisfactory answer on why that happened. Like I say, why not? Why not when this is done? Is there some just minor thing that it just says it? Hey, because you're using Ninshu and you're Senju and this is Uchiha, it mixed together, and this is one of the conditions where I can reveal myself to people in the future and communicate with you. Just something like that.
yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, but it didn't happen. All right, and then the end is Sasuke, you know, Mr. Hey, we're the only ones that are important. Because everybody knows what's going to happen, right? Here he is, Mr. We're what's important. Let them burn alive. We have to save the world. Screw everybody else. And this guy's out in the desert. He's like, no matter what I do, nothing works. He's totally despondent, you know, and he's going to get saved. We all know this is going to happen, right? And it's going to be worthless soccer right there to save him. That's just going to be amazing.
Yeah, I guess he needs to come down a couple notches to be useful in real life.
I would just love it. Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean that is fun to see. You know, people just get all high and mighty, then watch how low they are, and then he gets woke up because Sakura just healed him back to life. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna port you out here. That's worthless. That's worthless people just saved you, you idiot. And then
I really like how you know, like, just the entire landscape is attacking everybody. It's just really cool.
right, and I'm on a.
Saying
What
it's
page?
like it's not a jutsu, but it's like, you know, just like the entire land, you know, mountains, everything just coming at Naruto, attacking him like crazy.
What page you on?
Page 15.
15? Okay, I'm gonna skip
Yeah.
over there. Okay, yeah.
It's really
This
cool.
is This is going to look very good animated, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I hope they take their time. Like with these latest episodes or chapters.
Okay, so he's got the trap. We know he's fast. He's not really trapped, and she's coming out, right, to try to seal him. And everybody's watching, you know.
And that's a credit to Naruto's intelligence. He's playing possum. He's pretending to be captured so that he can get an attack on her.
Exactly. I like it.
Smart. Battle-wise, he has very good sense of battle.
And he says, okay, now I've made it look like I'm trapped. Now I just got to wait for her to come close to me, and then wham!
Wham! Smack her upside the head.
Okay, different dimensions. So Obito's talking about his deal. I think there was something huge I wanted to talk about. I think I've actually skipped past it. Okay, this is the part where Obito's making the observation. Okay, it's some kind of space-time distortion stuff we already talked about. It looks like it's similar to what my ability is, and then what Michael, you said about the whole copy thing makes perfect sense. So he should be able to do whatever she does, and mimic it because he has a time-space ability. So I like it. If I can synchronize my Kamui with it while the rift is open, I'm sure I'll be able to get in. The Sasuke is there, and this, well, they're not. Well, she's not porting. I mean, it's not. She's not porting to Sasuke, and then back. So I'm sitting here, and I'm like, what makes you think that you're going to get to Sasuke? Because she's. Why would she? I mean, why would Kaguya go to Sasuke now? He just leave him there, right? She's not. It's not like. Is he thinking it's like how his dimension works? She's just going to like her own little dimension and doing this? No, I don't think he's gonna. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Do you smell a side story coming up?
I don't know.
I think if those, was it 3 of them, go to Kaguya's dimension, she may not go back there for a while. She may just fight Naruto one-on-one.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's using the same. Looks like a very similar higher level technique than the one that was with Zabuza, which doesn't require her to go to Sasuke's dimension. She's just like locally, warping time or whatever herself. So.
Yeah.
And then of course, Obito's he needs chakra, so he's going to take Naruto along, and he's going to take Sakura, which is, as we've already talked, it's going to be pretty funny.
With Sakura, it does make sense that she would have a lot of chakra because she's been storing chakra in her forehead for years. So, but what doesn't make sense is that she has more chakra than Naruto's clone. I don't get that at all. That makes no sense to me because Naruto right now is in Sage mode and Kyuubi chakra mode, and he's got the Saber 6 power, and he's got all the tail beasts inside of him, right?
Yeah, he should be able to mold chakra, shouldn't he?
Right. So, and he gave he just touched people, and he gave them massive amounts of chakra, before the Infant Tsukuyomi. So, a clone is half of that. Every Kage Bunshin is half of what the original is. So, how is half of that weaker in chakra capacity to Sakura? I don't get that at all. I get that she has a lot of chakra, that she's been storing it for years, but how is her chakra more than the clone? I don't get that, unless it's a translation mistake. So.
Well, I'll just live with that. The two of them together is enough for Obito, but yeah, that's yet another point. Now, this is where it gets really okay. Naruto's like, Obito, thank you for all your help you're giving me and Sasuke too. Now, Obito killed his mother and father, right? And set these chain of events in large part in motion, okay? Manipulated or whatever. Thanking this guy, this is not somebody tolerated yet, okay? because you gotta, but thanking and getting all grovelly.
Yeah.
And even though, yeah, right. And then Obito's, yeah, go ahead.
Badass. He's just like, he played the villain. He realized he did. He's gonna take responsibility for it. Like, don't coddle me. Don't try to act nice to me. I stained myself. I made a mess of this, and I'm gonna be the one to fix it.
I'm actually, I'm okay with Obito's aspect of this, Michael, because he says, "Don't give me that kind of thanks from like me. Keep your eyes on the enemy." I mean, I understand in this circumstance. I'm no Obito fan, but his dialogue makes sense. Obito's you, and you don't have a mask anymore, and we're buddies, and it's like, what the?
We're not buddies.
That's insane.
He's far too forgiving.
That's crazy.
I think that's his weakness.
I had the same dream as you once, Obito. I think I want to res up your parents and kill them right in front of you. What do you think of that?
I don't know if Obito killed his parents, though. I mean,
He did.
He was dead before. Wasn't he an orphan? He was an orphan before everything happened. He was an orphan.
Obito?
Yeah, he was an orphan. Remember
Oh,
Kakashi
okay.
went to his house and I don't think he had a picture of his family. Didn't he only have a picture of Randy Kakashi? Okay.
Yeah, he just had a picture of I can't say for sure.
Well, let me go ahead and read Obito's lines. I'm not trying to dress, because we're getting to the end, I guess, myself up with fancy words now, nor do I expect you to think any more of me now that time is running out. Just at the very least, let me walk in front of you, allow me to die, and me and many other people cheer loudly. Please die.
That's slow golf clap for that one.
Yes, die, Obito, die.
I just saw a picture of the manga page where Obito has pictures up on the wall.
Yes.
It shows that like the picture of his parents is really old, like it's crinkled and like ripped up a little bit, and the picture of like Rin and Kakashi, those pictures are like nice and clean and like brand new. So I think that pretty much describes that Obito lost his parents at a younger age.
Yeah, it could be. Could very well be. All right, now is there anything about this chapter that we want to talk about before we go to the end?
I just like to talk about Obito. I think I'm going to make my case again here that he's been a great villain. He's always been. People turned on Obito when they realized he wasn't Madara, when he stopped being Toby. But he's pretty much kept the exact same demeanor, the exact same sarcasm. Nothing changed about him. The only thing that changed was now that we know people took it to the extreme, started calling him a pedo and all that stupid crap that they did. And if you just look at him, for who he is, a guy that was pure and was tainted, and that he became like the exact opposite of Naruto, and then he did all this villain stuff, which was almost like heroic in a way because he truly believed in it as a good cause. He believed that if he got rid of the corrupt world, that it would be better for everybody. So he was a very warped villain, and then only Naruto, with similar experiences and whatnot, was able to show him that he was wrong. And now he's still the same badass guy that he was after he was tainted. He's not like, believe it, and Naruto, think about the good things, the light, and things like that. He's the exact same person. He's just going to repent with actions, with his death and whatnot. And I just think he's a great character all in all. So complex, so psychologically diverse from anything else in this manga. And I think Kishimoto really, really did good with him. So.
Well, very, very well put. I just want to say I'm so glad that we've gotten past, Kishimoto's gotten past with Obito, the whole it's Rin thing, and now we're at the taking responsibility for his actions part of this. Because the Rin thing was getting just, nauseating. And it was, the whole pedo thing was total BS. I have to agree with you there. I don't know where the hell that came from. Well, how you doing, Sean? I haven't been totally looking at the page, so I didn't know you. I don't know when you came in, but we're about done
Um,
with the chapter. Was there anything anything with the chapter you wanted to bring up? We may or may not have covered.
um, we finally learned that we can finally see our Obito's starting about to die.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, Obito is going now. He's going to be dying probably within about 10 or so chapters, I imagine. And that's fine. You know, he's done
Yeah,
everything he can do.
Obito ain't going anywhere.
When Obito dies, I still won't believe it. Even when if Obito dies in 10 chapters, like you say, in the manga ends, I still don't believe it. I am so almost fanatic's belief in Obito's ability to survive.
You know, in Naruto, death doesn't mean anything.
Well, especially to Obito. But I mean, that guy's.
yeah, like to him, he's at a stage where like he accepts his fate, so he's gonna go full speed ahead.
Yeah.
It's still
But yeah, but what I'm starting to like about Obito now is he's starting to figure out Kaguya's what is it, teleportation jutsu. So he's already getting his plan set up to go into her dimension to go to Sasuke's dimension.
Yeah.
all right. That works out pretty well. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move on.
Prediction is that
Well, yeah, go ahead, but I don't want to.
manga predictions. I'm going to say that next time Obito and the clone and Sakura and Kakashi, they're going to watch Kaguya fight Naruto for a bit. Obito is going to memorize the dimensional pattern, and while that happens, we're going to get the rest of the chapter will be Hagoromo talking to Minato and the rest about what's going on with Kaguya and how they can help.
Okay, now I have a question for everybody. What's Kakashi gonna do? Is he gonna stay there and somehow assist Naruto, or is he gonna go with the the Obito crew and travel around?
I don't see any resistance. I don't even think he's going to travel around. I think he's going to stay there and watch Naruto fight. And
Yeah,
maybe help
I
him
think
with
Kakashi's role is going to be the historian now.
He's gonna be the one to tell everybody, right?
I have a question. Um, when Kakashi uses teleportation, just well his Komoe, was he using a hand signal, like a hand sign, or if he was just doing it on his eye?
It was just his eye.
Oh,
You're saying can he Kamoy now without the eye? Is that what you're asking?
yeah, like was there like a hand sign that he could remember to do Komoe without it?
No, I want to make sure I want to make sure what I said is what I'm going to say right here. He can't use that ability without the eye, unless he's Madara. Then he can use any eye ability ever invented without any eyes.
He'd probably most likely be a support character, well,
Yeah.
a support person, like assistant.
He could be like it's been said, maybe a historian or something. I don't know. He's still a genius, so he may still be able to do, and he's still got lightning techniques, so he may be able to sneak in and do some kind of nasty thing by himself, especially his Chidori and everything else. Like I say, he's still fast. He's still got a lot of other abilities. So, and he's a genius. So, we'll see. He still could. I hope he stays with Naruto, but that seems to there really isn't any reason for him to go hang out with Obito and the rest of them, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say my prediction, like Obito's gonna go to the other dimension with Kakashi, and Kakashi will finally have that bond with Obito doing a last mission.
Okay. James, you got a final prediction?
But yeah, for 684, I think I'm hoping that Hagoromo tells the Edo Kages not to revive Madara again, and I think the dimension thing. I think it seems like it's going to be a mess. I think it's going to be a device to get those other guys off the battlefield, and they're going to be stuck in limbo. And we'll get to see Naruto go one-on-one with Kaguya for a while. That's it. I can't think of anything else. And it's all I got.
Well, let me bring this up real quick. It's something I was talking about in the beginning, is how I don't see how they can ever get Sasuke back, because she's not going to ever. She doesn't need to travel to where she dumped him. Dimension. She doesn't need to. The technique she's using isn't using that dimension, right? So I can't see them ever getting Sasuke back unless Kaguya is talk no jutsu or something like that. Or why I just can't think of a reason why she would go, I need to go over to where Sasuke is, instead of just finishing Naruto here.
It was like what I said. If Obito can witness her technique,
yes,
and then he can see how to get inside of her teleportation. Like, she doesn't teleport her; she passes through dimensions. So if she can get in between the space, that black space, if he can just warp himself in that black space, then maybe once he's in there, he can use his eye and find the chakra of Sasuke and like where it exited out of. You know what I'm saying? Or something towards that effect, and trace it to the exit hole of where Sasuke is.
Well, Naruto is a sensor type, but let me put it this way: what you're talking about, this dimensional thing she's using, appearing and reappearing around Naruto and all that. I don't think that has anything to do with. It doesn't work like this. Isn't like Obito's, where he has this other dimension he can go back and forth from. So, like I say, I don't see how they're ever going to, and I don't see the connection between that, what's the technique she's using now, to anything about where Sasuke's dimension is. And unless they, if they went with her, she did go back, and they went with her, then like, okay, they know where she's at, he's copied. It isn't just copying the technique. How many dimensions can Kaguya go to?
I'm going to go with 4.
Because, I mean, right now she's got Naruto's. So she's either gone to 3. Okay, now if the fireplace was a different place, then that's 4. So we get sand, we got the Winter Wonderland, and we get lava. So, and then Naruto. So that's it. That's either 3 or 4 dimensions she's shown, let alone whatever else, other places she could go. So like I say,
it probably symbolizes like the elements. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a dark one, one of lights, one of like lightning or something like that. Like, like just.
Yeah, that symbol of the chakra nature.
Maybe even she can go to the cube place like Obito's or whatever. But like I said, I can't see the connection unless they can convert Kaguya or there's. But anyway, like I say, now I'm repeating myself. So I don't know how they're going to be able to do this. This seems kind of. In other words.
I was gonna say I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna still be optimistic. Sakura go do something amazing with Abuto to help him. So I don't think she's gonna be all that useless. I'm gonna stay optimistic.
Yeah, she's a battery. She's a chakra battery.
Yeah.
But like I say, if they defeat, like if Kage gets defeated right now, right? I mean, how? I can't see how she's defeated and we get Sasuke back. So anyway.
I'm gonna throw this out there. Have you ever say to yourself, what if Sasuke can go into that black dimension on his own.
Well, see, I don't understand what the black dimension is because the technique that she's using is like that ice technique, and that's
Yeah.
like a localized
Well,
thing.
Obito said that he's going to a territory that's unknown.
But I don't know. Maybe I'm just totally reading too much into this.
I don't think
Anyway,
I don't think that the black part where she steps in between, that's
Yeah.
not a dimension. The black part is like just space in between dimensions.
Yeah.
And
well,
that's why I'm thinking if Obito can get into that space, then he can find an exit hole, where Sasuke is, because in my opinion, it would make sense if he could trace either Kaguya's chakra or Sasuke's chakra to the spot where he was dumped out of. So.
all right. Well, we're all. I think we've all repeated ourselves a few times. Me especially. I've already reached 3 times. So, anybody got anything new on this before we move on to the anime? I think we've already. Huh?
I don't have anything else.
Okay, Mike. Got anything else?
Me either.
No, I'm good.
Okay, we have squeezed all out of the toothpaste this time around. All right. Now, what everybody think of the anime? I didn't write it. I didn't do a review separate of the anime. I did watch it. The parts about. So I'm probably going to be relying on you guys more for this one. The parts about. I mean, it's kind of key, the whole relationship thing and all that. It's important, but the whole emo thing with Hashirama, I didn't care for it. The whole thing, Madara pissing, all that, I didn't care for that.
That's just comedy.
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't into it. So, but the whole thing about the father, and then Tobirama following him, and then the whole thing, it's setting up. It's actually setting up. The next anime episode is going to be really good. So the confrontation and everything, but this one, it needed to happen, but for me it wasn't the greatest. But anyway, that's pretty much. So what do you guys think of it?
I thought it was a good episode. You get to see how Hashirama and Madara were before they were. The episode opens up with them like Madara, Hashirama, charging at each other, and then they show like, they're like the best of friends. They were kids. So I thought that was a good, how would you say, I can't think of the word, but basically a good contrast between the way it started and then how it got into their friendship or whatever. Shows the important information to take away from the episode is how their families are at war with each other, and they both lost people because of their clans. So Hashirama lost people because Uchiha killed them. Madara lost siblings because the Senju clan killed them. So that was really good, really interesting. And then the cliffhanger is like how is Hashirama going to act to his father's order to betray Madara. So it was a good episode, definitely. For someone that didn't read the manga, it would be a lot better because it's like, oh wow, but it was just good. Not too much action, but good info, good backstory. I would love if like in the future, switching to the manga again, if in the future chapters like we would see like how Black Zetsu so that Hashirama and Madara fought each other. Because Black Zetsu's been responsible for making Senju and Uchiha fight each other since since Kaguya got sealed. So basically, maybe they could show like a flashback, whatever, in the manga and then eventually in the anime, where Black Zetsu like created the entire war between the Senju and the Uchiha. That'd be pretty cool. And then got to Madara, like maybe did something to make Madara read the tablet or whatever,
So what you're saying is you want to see the beginning of the beginning?
I just want to see more exposition on Black Zetsu being the mastermind. That's all I'm saying. Because it was already said to us that Black Zetsu is the reason why Ashura and Indra's descendants keep fighting. But we never got to see that with Madara. We just saw that, one day Madara got this idea in his head after reading the tablet, and then there was a mysterious figure in the Hashirama battle, and we found that mysterious figure was Black Zetsu, but Madara didn't know him. So I'm saying it'd be cool to get some exposition on Black Zetsu manipulating Madara into the war and into like reading the tablet or whatever.
If that's the case, would you want to see it as a Shippuden movie? So you have like an hour and 30 minutes of just straight details?
I don't think they'd have to make it a movie. They could just make it a special or whatever. But I mean,
would you be satisfied with an episode or a movie of the stuff that you was talking about?
Yeah, I mean either one. I don't know how you could make a movie out of it. An episode, an hour special or something, that'd be really cool. But I'm just saying, like even just to get a little thing in the manga, like if they bring Madara back, like Hashirama could be like, all right, it's just you and me now. We're talking. Why did this all happen the way it did? Something like that. And then Hagirama and Madara could like put two and two together and figure out, and then we could see in the flashbacks, what really happened. It'd be cool. I just don't like things left unfinished. It's a perfect
yeah, that's true.
When something is mentioned, I want to see it. So.
All right. Any more Naruto stuff? Because we can as soon as we get done talking about that, we can spend, if you guys want, a little bit of time talking about the summer anime stuff coming out. I know I didn't put this on the list. We don't have to spend a whole lot of time with it, but I am thinking about maybe for a month or something bringing back the Sunday. It'd be the Sunday's anime deal again. For like an hour or so?
Yeah, about the new animes coming out, I saw one of them already. It was a guitar. It was set in the Edo period, I think it was, but like, they have like electricity and music and stuff, and they have like concerts, and it's like the concerts are performed by the government. And the government's like is using the songs to control the people or something. And like this guy, the protagonist, has a rock guitar, and he sings rock. And like so like the entire Shinsengumi and the government like are trying to capture him, and he's trying to form a band or something like in resistance. And apparently his music has some kind of magical properties or something like that. I don't know. I thought it was funny. That's one of the new animes I checked out. I also heard that the Tokyo Ghoul one that just came out, I heard it was like really good. For Neverworlds talked about it. Did you see that yet?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people excited about it, and a couple of other people too. I'm not that much into gore, so ghoul stuff probably not going to be for me, but I've heard good feedback. Also, he made like Sword Art Online. Sword Art Online 2 starts in 10 hours and 19 minutes, according to this.
Oh, really? 10 hours? Really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know
so, that. Episode 1. My brother-in-law's a huge Sword Art fan.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's really grabbed me from what I've seen here so far, so there's a couple I'm going to look at. Akame ga Kill looks kind of interesting to me.
Yeah.
And that's the only one that I'm really,
Do you have a link to like the new titles coming out? I didn't see the new link to it yet.
Well, I've just got this that I searched for, which has got I'll go ahead and link it in here if you guys want to look. Right here. It's just an anime chart.
Right. Yeah. That. I didn't see the newest one yet.
So. And it does have a time thing on it. But anyway, like I said, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time with this. James, was there anything at all Naruto-wise that you wanted to talk about?
All subtitles.
Huh?
What's that?
Oh, James, you there?
I don't know if he stepped out, but
yeah, he might have tuned out because we kind of went off Naruto. So,
but
anyway,
I saw that music one. That music one was called Loco Doll. I guess like Local Idol, Loco Doll. No, that's not what it's called. I'm wrong. It was called something else.
Bakamatasa Rock, maybe? The end of the Shogun's rule. No, I don't know. It's something else.
Yeah, it was called. Hold on.
All right, we're going to go and close here pretty soon. As a matter of fact, let's just go. We can chat a little bit after it. Well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close up. I appreciate everyone. We kind of got off of Naruto there, and that's going to be the end of it this week, and we're going to have another great week, and I appreciate everyone's efforts. Until next time. Huh?
It was called Bakamatsu Rock.
Okay, there we go. Until next time, take care.